Welcome back to the Mindful Presenter Truth Series. Truth 32. Not everything can be measured easily in pound notes. I've been following a series of discussions, debates, conversations on LinkedIn over the last few weeks. And these conversations and debates relate to the current global pandemic that we're all suffering and experiencing. It's a trivial issue, I must admit, in comparison to the devastating effects that this pandemic has had on so many lives all over the world. But nevertheless, it may be a trivial issue in comparison, but it's worth noting because people are asking the question. And the question is this: why is it that when we are in the midst of a deep financial crisis, as we are now, why is it that one of the first things leaders tend to do in organizations across the world is to stop, halt training and development, to slash budgets and to put an immediate stop to them? People are asking the question, why do they do that? The answer, I guess, is fairly obvious, but you could say, well, why are they asking that? Now, businesses, regardless of their size, status, purpose, they all have many functions. One of the many functions, of course, is to make money. Unless you're a not-profit, and even then you still need to make money to pump back into the business. Every business wants to make money. Now, when the time comes when we have to cut costs and tighten our belt and purse strings because we are in a deep financial crisis as we are now, it makes sense that the first thing that will go, or could go, is that thing which isn't giving us highly visible, tangible, real results in terms of the return on our investment, so we can't measure it in pound notes. If we can't see that, it's likely to go. It's common sense. I've had to do that in Mindful Presenter over the last few months, and I've had to do that in huge multi-million-pound organizations that I've sat on the board in a commercial director context. So I understand that. That's one side of the house. The other side of the house, though, as well, is that there are some things you can't measure in pound notes that easily. Now, if, for example, training and development relates to sales and selling, and that's one aspect of the work we do, you should easily be able to demonstrate a return on the investment. If you develop and enhance in a powerful way people's sales and selling skills, then they should be able to sell more effectively. That's a given. So that should be measurable. But then there's things like leadership. We also run mindful leadership workshops. Now, it's not evident that you're going to see an immediate return on your investment from somebody attending a 1, 2, or even 3-day leadership program. It doesn't matter how powerful it is. That is often difficult to measure. It comes, the return comes, but sometimes it comes over a period of time. So there's a level of patience involved in that. And then the core of our business is high impact presenting and public speaking. How do you measure that? Again, people are presenting and speaking in so many different ways in businesses all over the world. It could be project updates, team meetings, board meetings, conferences. The list is pretty endless, and not everything is measurable in that sense. One of the most important aspects of this conversation, however, is the impact that training and development can have on the individual, personally, emotionally, and even, dare I say, spiritually. What I mean by that is this: the world is full of highly intelligent, creative, talented people, experts in their field that know exactly what they're doing. That's not an issue. But many of those same people, and I know this because I've been one of them and I've worked with thousands of them, struggle to express their voice with authority and confidence and clarity. Doesn't matter how good they are at their jobs, there is an issue there. Some of that relates right back to childhood or school issues or whatever, because we're not taught to communicate powerfully and effectively. And yet we arrive in the workplace and we expect to inspire and enthuse and connect with people. For a lot of people, that does not come naturally, it does not come easily. So imagine you go on a high-impact public speaking presentation skills course and you acquire those skills. Where's the return on investment visibly in terms of pound notes? Again, they may not be there immediately. They will come over the longer period. But what it doesn't show necessarily to leaders is the huge immeasurable impact that it can have on individuals in terms of their sense of self, their sense of confidence, authority, their personal belief in themselves, their personal impact in terms of the way they perceive themselves and their voice and the way they behave in business and lead. Just because somebody has taken the time to invest in them and shown them another way of thinking, another way of communicating. That's my view. Of course, there's no right or wrong, and as you'll see on LinkedIn, if you follow these conversations, there are tons of opinions. But my point is this: not everything can be measured in pound notes. We need to invest in our people. People need a growth mindset, especially when the chips are down, especially when there's so much uncertainty in the world. They need that sense of self, that sense of purpose, and a growth mindset. I'll leave that thought with you, because not everything can be measured in pound notes.